So I'm in the San Domingo Wash here in southern Arizona, camping and traveling, of course, and it's early morning. I just saw this ruins over here. I'm not even sure if I'd call that a cabin. It looks almost more like a collection of really bad plywood, but I think that was probably where somebody, oh, look at that, somebody lived. Something has a nest in there. Look at that, isn't that weird? That's probably like a pack rat nest in here, and he's gathered up a bunch of stuff. Those are shotgun shells and bottles and trash that he's gathered all around this site. There's a giant cactus there. There's probably bullet holes all through it. Imagine if we ran a metal detector over it, it'd go nuts. But these look like prospect piles here. Dirt, where people have been looking for gold. Let's see what we can see up here. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can see where they've been digging in the bank, and these are all piles. There's a fresh one over here. This is a dry wash pile here. The stones that are part of the operation. You see these all over the desert. That's what that. Saw this rock and I'm like, oh cool, a meteorite. It's nice and smooth. It's got smooth edges and like little holes like that. I forget what they're called, but meteorites have that look. But this is actually a mineral block for animals or cows. That's where they've been licking the holes. You buy these at the store and throw them out. So in a couple of my other videos, we looked at some of these windmills or turbines or whatever you want to call them. They were all kind of decrepit and kaput. However, this one's running. And I want to explain to you why they're out here and how they work. If you can look, it's spinning round and around in the wind. What that is doing is it's drawing water up as it spins from this well that's drilled. And then it's piped over into these big tanks, and it's used to water cattle. Well, mostly water cattle. Although some of the other ones we have seen before were used to, I think, water wildlife as well. But that's what those are, and you see them all over the West, and they just constantly run 24 hours a day, drawing water from beneath the ground. There's actually a lot of water underground here, even though it's very dry on top. In most places, not every place, but most places. All right, back to the rig. So you recognize the Chig?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Hey, man, you make some great videos. I've learned a lot.
Oh, thanks. Not much water out here, though.
Yeah, not much at all. We're coming.
Where are you coming from?
From Virginia.
Whereabouts?
Stafford.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, it's the county, yeah.
Yeah, 40 miles from DC.
Well, I'm from like Hagerstown, Maryland.
Gotcha.
It's kind of weird running into people all the way out here that know the Chig. And they're from Virginia, which is even weirder. This is what a typical road marker will look like on BLM land. You know, it'll be brown. It'll say U.S. Department of the Interior, Bureau of Land Management, and with a number. See that? That means you can drive. It's a public road that you can drive on. They don't like you just tearing off, cross country too much. And we'll look at the sign that's full of holes. Naturally, I'll show you a little bit of this information. Old stage road, okay? Stay on existing trails. You have to have a permit for your four-wheeler or whatever. And they just want you to stay on existing roads naturally. Now the old stage road apparently is an old stage road, and it's very rough and we'll be going out of here. And I'm not sure about a lot of the history of this road, unfortunately. I didn't realize it was an old stage road until I got here. But I've read a lot of really interesting stories about settlers and people moving through the area getting massacred on roads just like we're going to be on. Just think about that whenever you see me driving along these roads, what it must have been like, 150 years ago. Because a lot of these places were actually founded in the 1860s, about the time of the American Civil War. Partly because some of the guys that didn't want to fight in the war came out west, because they could come out here and prospect and not get drafted into the Confederacy or Union Army. All right, so we're going to keep moving. There's another little ruins of a cabin right along the road. See, there's some type of structure. This is I guess it's the cabin. Not old because of those type of threaded rod that's in there. Obviously this is the remains of some type of wall that they built. Is that chimney? What is that? Or a well? Maybe it's a well. Oh, we have to look in that. What could that possibly be? It's rounded like a well. Maybe it's a stand for a tank. I'm going to kind of jump up and look in there. Well, I'll use this tree over here as best I can. Let's see what's up there. Oh, okay, yeah, look. Some water fixing, so that could be some type of... Make sure there's no scorpions on this tree. A little foothold there. It's not a great one, but I think it'll do. Wait. What is it? Yeah, that's what it is. It's lined with metal, so this is a water reservoir. Naturally, you can see a pipe over there. There's probably a natural spring over there in that hillside. Look at all the antlions. You've seen the antlions. These are little creatures that live in here that dig these burrows, and ants walk along. They fall in and can't get out. It's like a trap. And they come up and grab them with their pinchers and pull them under and eat them. I made a bunch of videos of those already, so we won't do that today. Look like a bunch of feathers up here, but I don't think they're feathers. Yeah, they are feathers. Weird. I don't know what kind of bird that was. Obviously, he got ripped apart. Spent some time in someone's belly. I don't see anything else. Alright, let's go ahead and hit the road. That looked like just some tin over there. We're going to keep moving. Apparently I was having a senior moment just a minute ago when I was telling you about the stage road, not knowing what it is, because I do know what it is. This is part of the old Butterfield stage line road. I don't know how I forgot that, because that's a very, very famous road. But it's rough. It was rough back then too. You see how it just kind of goes along up through these canyons, and that's how you had to get around. It was a very, very difficult travel for the settlers in the wagons that did not have good springs, and they would bounce and jostle, and it was just not a good time apparently. Not so bad today. I kind of like it. I'm working my way up through this little canyon with a metal detector, and I could hear some buzzing, so I looked over to my side, and there's a wild honeybee hive here. Now these could be like Africanized, I don't know, so we don't want to like be poking at them or anything, but they haven't really been paying much attention to me. Let's take a quick look at them. You see them come in and out. You can see a little bit of the comb in there. Well, that's a nice active hive. We're not going to mess with it. In fact, we're going to keep going up the canyon. Some really pretty quartz type stuff though, some veins going through the rock. Look like somebody had, they obviously did some digging here, probably just prospecting. Just pick this little rock up right next to the machine. That's the honeybee hive. I haven't got it anywhere yet. I guess I should be. Isn't that pretty? I guess that's mica. Wish there was gold in it. Third. Look. Get himself a honeybee, aren't you? Get him, buddy. Better get away. They're starting to buzz around me. I just dug this little tiny sliver or something. Kind of lead colored, so it might be like a shaving off a bullet, but I'm not 100%. I'm going to throw that in my bottle and look at it under a microscope. Looking glass. What am I thinking of? A magnifying glass. I think it's probably just lead though, but not 100% on it. I've been driving for like an hour and a half trying to find this big mica mine. It's supposed to be so awesome. And I'm like going, these four-wheel drive roads going up. I mean, I'm almost falling over cliffs and driving, don't know where I am. Just came back in a big circle right to where we started the day at the water windmill thingy. So we're going to go all the way back up through there again. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. What a freaking idiot. Oh, I was sweating bullets there for a while until I saw that camper. I figured the road had to, you know, they got in here, so it couldn't be that hard getting out, but I went a giant circle. Jeez. Hope we make it before it gets dark, because I have no idea where it is, really. You know what? We might go another way. Yeah, let's go another way. There's supposed to be an easier route. I have no idea how to get to it this way. What an idiot. Do you want to check out this little mine behind me? I don't think it goes back very far, but it's kind of cool looking, isn't it? See some animal tracks in here. It's probably coyote. Boy, that's kind of weird, isn't it? I guess it's a mine. Maybe it's somebody's house. Maybe they lived out here. I don't know. Yeah. Not much, but I tell you, if there was a big storm, this might be a good place to hang out. Looks like there's lots of animals in here, though. Somebody peed. Some animal peed right there. Probably full of scorpions. But then again, you might not want to hang out in there because these washes can fill up with water like in a heartbeat, even if it's not raining here. It could be raining upstream a couple miles. And, well, you could drown in that one, I think. Or scramble up over the rocks if you're lucky. So I want to take a few minutes and talk about mining claims out here and how if you don't own a claim or not a member of a club that owns claims, you have to be careful about these things because they actually own the mineral rights for this piece of ground right here. You can rent it, basically you rent it from the government. So you don't want to go on someone else's claim and become a claim jumper because they don't like that. Now there's lots of other land out here that the BLM owns that you can go on. You just got to stay away from these places. And every mining claim will have something like this set up, and it'll tell you the name of the claim and who owns it. This is the Roadrunner Prospectors Club, and I'll give you some information on that. And there's some more over here. So this is Redbird 7, this is Redbird 9. Another thing you need to look for, that's only on one corner, okay? It'll have all the information on that. Could be just a post with like a little waterproof box with the information inside the box that you could open up and look at if you wanted to. In each corner of the claim will have a post. I think they have to be a white post nowadays. And it'll look something like that. They don't always have stripes on them, I don't think. It won't always have the information. It might just be a plain white post. And the way these claims came about is way back in, like, I think it was 1873, the government passed a law where you could actually stake a claim out here to mine gold. Because what was happening is, you know, you had these millions and millions of acres of government land, and there are people out looking for gold and other not just gold, but other minerals too. There's tons of other minerals out here. And they were fighting over the claims. Like if you found like a lode mine or a nice placer mine, you know, somebody could come up right beside you and start digging, and it caused a lot of problems. So the government passed a law saying that you could actually like basically rent the land as long as you were looking for gold on it every year. And there was a certain amount of acreage, I'm not sure how much, that was yours, okay, for the year. But you had to work it and you had to pay them a little bit of money. But if anyone else came on there, you know, they were claim jumping, breaking the law, and they could be arrested. So it gave you protection as a prospector, and it, you know, helped stop a lot of the murders, which is a good thing. So claim jumping, that's what that means. If I grab my metal detector out of the truck right now and started metal detecting up there, I'm a claim jumper. I'm prospecting on someone else's claim. All right, so watch out for those things, white posts. Now, wait a second. I'm not going to prospect over there. I can go over there all I want. I can set up camp right there. I can do whatever I want right there. That's government property. We all own it. I can do whatever I want within the bounds of the law there, except look for minerals. That includes gold or copper or any other type of minerals that have value and could be mined. I can't do that there, but I can do anything else, which is kind of cool. And there's millions of acres out here just like it. This rock wall behind me is pretty slick. I want to show this to you. We're coming down the wash. You can see where there's a channel being cut out here. This isn't a road that someone made, but this is a channel that was cut out by the stormwater, and people have been driving on it. And over here is the main road, which is another channel that people drive on. This is all natural. But look at these rocks. Isn't this cool? See how it's layered like that? Look at that. You can see all these cool layers going up. Up there, it's coming down that way and going this way. And if we look behind me, Look, isn't that wild? This rock was laid down. This would have been flat at one time, and these are layers of sediment that, you know, this would have been underwater and that built up like that, and the mountains over the last millions of years tipped up like this, and this eroding down now. So that was tipped. That's a beautiful example of that. I mean, you can see examples of that anywhere you go. Back home in Maryland, they're all over the place too. Called the anticlines and synclines. That's where it's folded, where it was once flat. I don't know if they were mining this rock or what, but there's a whole series of them. There's a few more here. I'm almost certain these are man-made. Looks, you can see the chips along the edges, and there's a row of them right here. 1, 2, 3. There's another one here. I don't know about down in here, but you see these rounded rocks. Those are rounded because they've been tumbled along in a stream or an ocean bottom. That's how they get rounded like that. And there's a bunch of them, and that's just so cool. I mean, that is just really, really cool. You can look at the one way down there, it's even steeper. Geology, I mean, how can you explain it? I try, but it's been a long time since I studied any of this stuff. Hope that's not too bumpy for you. Probably less bumpy than for me. Whoops, that's ugly. So another claim marker, sorry. And it has writing on it, so I know it's a corner of another claim. Let's see if this one's ours. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Is it? There's no name on it. Yeah, there is, hold on. Nugget trap. Nope, that's not us. These little caves could be full of bags of gold nuggets. If you look here, you see this big pile of brush. This is where, when it floods, all the sticks and the mud and the rocks get washed down. Very, very dangerous, because it's not just plain water out here. It's like a big, goopy, thick mass of sharp sticks and hard rocks and soft little gooey animals that didn't make it. You don't want to be part of that mix. You can't swim out of it. It just sucks you in and you're gone. It grinds you up. I think I'm getting tired. That's a beautiful canyon, though. Hear that? That was a chupacabra. I guess I should have locked in the hubs. Yeah. Wow. I think this is where we'll camp tonight. What do you say? Huh? You want to? Yeah, you do. That's the canyon we just came out of. I think the claims are over in this area right here. I'll get the map. There's holes all over the place. It looks like a minefield. I'll get the map book out and see. But I'm pretty sure they're right in front of us here. I don't know how we missed them. All right, so this is what we have. I wish I had my GPS, but we can line up this topo map showing where the claims are with what we can see. If you look off in the distance, you got that big knob there and a little one beside it, and a series of knobs going off to the side. We got the map, we got the little knob, big knob, series of knobs going off to the side. These are the claims we're going to hit, so they're down between, just off of this series of knobs right here, all these claims right here. Nugget flows, to the best I can tell. So I'm just going to park here. We're going to spend the night right here on this nice, pretty little knoll. And we'll just hike cross country to it. Maybe we'll see something on the way. And I hope we're not abducted by aliens out here all by ourselves tonight. That's where the road stretches off in the distance, and there's no houses out there. That's all government land, no houses, nothing. So I have camp set up, which is basically putting the back down on the truck. and we're going to get ready and take off. And we're just going to cross country over to those claims. But I want to show you what I did here. You notice that the truck is facing a different direction than when I pulled in. I pulled straight in like this, you know, facing out. But I sleep in the back of the truck, and looks like the clamp fits, doesn't it? But I sleep in the back of the truck, and I usually just leave the back open like that here because there's no bugs to worry about. And what I don't want to happen is someone to drive up to my camp with their headlights on, high beams or whatever, shining right on me where I can't see. So I turn the truck around. And this is what will happen. This is just a little security thing, and you know, you guys should think about this too whenever you guys go camping, using your vehicle as a shield from the headlights. So if someone comes up this road right here to check me out, what they're going to do, shine the headlights right on the front of the truck, and I'll see them, but I'll be in the back, so I can prepare myself for mortal combat if it's a cougar, and not the fun kind, a chupacabra. I don't think there is a fun one of those, or anything. I mean, I'll be prepared. They won't have me blinded by their lights, and I can get my flashlight out and blind them. So, or take off over the hill if it's too scary. But think about that. Think about security when you're setting up camp, and how you can use your vehicle as a shield, you know, to help you when people come in at night, unexpected guests. Of the two-legged variety. A weird little jawbone of some creature. Might be a chupacabra. Looks like a hog, doesn't it? What would a pig be doing way out here in the middle of the desert in Arizona? I'm positive that's what that thing is. I guess. Unless it is a chupacabra. Wow, that's odd. And here's the rest of them. Man, that's a vicious looking creature, isn't it? How would you like to meet him at night, coming through the bushes at you? If he looked like this and didn't have any fur or skin on him. Wow, look at those tusks. Dang, that's a mean one. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So I've got a nice little squeaker right here that, you know, sounded really good. It was hitting to the right. So I went ahead and dug it, and I want to show you what it is. It's not gold, but it's so small, it's unbelievable. This little tiny thing right here. It actually sounded pretty good. If I can find it again, there it is. It just fell out of the scoop, I think. Yeah, unfortunately, I just dropped it. So, hold on. I have it in the scoop right here, and so look at that. It's a little itty-bitty piece of birdshot. That's probably like a number 9. Number 9. You know what I'm talking about. Little tiny thing. I wish it was gold colored. I'd be a lot more excited, but I'm actually pretty excited that we even heard that. Alright, so I heard another target in about the same place. So I went ahead and dug it, and it's another little piece of birdshot. But that could be a piece of gold, because a lot of gold has been found in this area, and that target was missed. Another good target here. I just dug it out of the bank. Let you listen to it and watch the meter. You can see it's jumping back and forth. So we definitely want to dig that. Staying a lot to the left, but we definitely want to dig it. I'm going to go ahead and pop it over into discriminate. That middle button right there, you can see how it changed. The icon changed. One went deep, one shallow. So this isn't discriminate. Now let's listen to the target now. Now, not knowing much about this machine, I can't tell you if that's going to be good or bad for sure. But we're going to go ahead and dig it. I'm going to go back to the deep mode. And I can tell that it's right about here. So this was the target. It's another piece of birdshot, a little bit bigger. Loud and clear. These shotgun pellets are getting smaller and smaller. That thing actually sounded really good. Hey, well, that could have been a nugget. Hitting all the old dry wash piles. And if you haven't watched my other videos, what a dry washer is, it's a way to process soil to get the gold out without using water. And basically what you do is it goes up on a machine, and hopefully I'll get a video of it for you. And it puffs air up, and it pushes the dust out, and the rocks fall off, and hopefully the gold stays in there. They're not real efficient, at least they didn't used to be. Now as I'm working my way up this ravine, I came across a fresh pile where someone has been dry washing here. I just want to show you what the remains look like, and then I'll show you what some of the older ones look like that could be 100 years old, and that's what we're mainly looking for. This is where they excavated some soil, and they brought it over to here in a bucket, and their machine would have been sitting right here. Like I said, hopefully I'll get to show you one a little bit later. And as the thing's puffing away and going, most guys use like little gas motors for that now to make air. In the old days it had a bellows, and that's why we find so many of those little tacks that I was calling shoe tacks, but they're actually tacks for bellows to keep the air in, those things that you push up and down normally, and it shoots air out the end. That's what they had to use in the old days. Big rocks with one pile, and the fines would be blown off into another. You can see that's really fine stuff there, and hopefully the gold would stay on the machine. Like I said, the old days, they weren't very efficient. And I'll show you a pile next. Haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure there's going to be another one right up this ravine that could be 100 years old. That's what we're looking for, and we want to check those piles. Now this is a good example of an old working right here, or an area that was worked a long time ago. Look at this bank right in front of me. You see how there's a pile of rocks right here that doesn't look like the other areas? That's from where, you know, the miners piled them up when they were digging this channel out right here where I'm standing. Now it's since filled back in, but if you look up through here, you can see it multiple areas, like there's piles of stones there, and there's a pile right here. What the miners were doing back then is they were digging all these stones and the dirt out, running them through their dry washers up on the bank. They're digging it out in this ravine right here because this is the natural area for heavy stuff to concentrate. You always want to dig in the areas where there's the highest concentration of gold. So over the years, thousands or millions of years, I mean millions of years in this gold field, the gold has been washing from up on that hill, and it might have been a mountain there hundreds of feet higher, working its way downhill until it hit this ravine, you know, during rainstorms and whatnot, and it gets caught in this ravine and then slowly starts working its way down. So that's why they're working right here, because all the gold that was in the dirt that might have been hundreds of feet thick up there is now down here. Most of it's gone now, naturally, because they dug every square tablespoon of dirt they could find and ran it through the washers, but they missed a lot of it, and that's what we're looking for right now, pretty much the stuff that they missed. They were good at it. Sometimes they would run the same areas 2 or 3 times over the course of a few decades. And the first people that came through here were the white prospectors and the Spanish. Later on, the Chinese actually came through. It was a big wave of Chinese prospectors that reworked a lot of the old workings and got what they could out of it before they moved on. And since then, it's just been, you know, hit and miss with whoever's out here. Not too many. That's a beautiful rock. Let's look at it. Pretty, isn't it? I guess that's calcite. I don't know my rocks. I'm sorry. It's almost like a point, doesn't it? But I don't think it is. Just dug this little horseshoe, mule shoe, whatever it might be. It is super worn and super old. If you look way behind me, you can see the Borgo that's on the hill. That's that metal sculpture that that old prospector made and put up there, or had put up there. I want to show you something else that's kind of interesting. This is what you're looking at here is, I guess it's not a sculpture, but it represents the American flag. There's a neat story behind this. I'm going to tell you as soon as I get up here. Obviously, you got your stars and your bars. Not the stars and bars, but you know what I mean. But anyway, this was made back in the 1940s, right after the end of World War II, to commemorate the end of World War II. So this has been here since then. Isn't that cool? Well, that was another fun day out in the trenches. We didn't find a whole lot. We did a lot of traveling though, and a lot of hiking. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. We'll get back out there again tomorrow. Always have fun, okay guys? We'll see you on the next video. Big old nugget, like a goose egg.